A lot of good things, but it just wasn't enough. Avs lose to the Los Angeles Kings 2-1 in overtime. The first period flew by for the most part, but it didn't start that way, as just 30 seconds in, the Kings get a grade A chance and a ring one off the post. The bad news there is the Avs gave up a very good chance early, but the good news is it seemed like Varley had a little bit of luck on his side. But beyond that, the Avs settled in almost immediately after, and it was pretty smooth sailing through the first. The possession metrics were fairly even, with maybe a slight edge to the Avs, but more importantly, after that post, the Avs gave up virtually no quality chances to the Kings, giving up just 5 shots on goal total in the period. The Avs would put 11 shots on goal themselves, and they would get a few quality chances, but it didn't feel like they were completely dominating like it was at times against Pittsburgh. Ultimately, a quick and clean first goes on by, and we head into intermission 0-0. In the second period, the 5-on-5 was mostly the same, but 2.5 minutes in, the Avs would take the first penalty of the game. They would barely manage to escape and kill it, with Varley being a beast in net and not allowing the LA Kings to score. After that penalty kill, you were starting to get the feeling that Varley might be in the zone tonight. A few minutes later, the Avs would get a power play of their own, but wouldn't do very much with it, and almost immediately after it expires, they would take another penalty. The Avs would survive again, and this time at 5-on-5, they would finally push back a bit. After holding it deep in the zone for a while, the Avalanche's top line would finally come out and convert. After winning a puck battle, Rantanen is going to take the puck in behind the Kings net and then throw it out to the slot. Meanwhile, McKinnon is sneaking right into that slot to get a grade A chance. Unfortunately, McKinnon misses the net on this one, but Landeskog is there to recover it behind the net. While that was happening, McKinnon and Rantanen, funnily enough, fell into each other, but as a bonus, they broke Lewis's stick. So from there, Landeskog takes it up the boards, and it ends up being Lewis's man to cover in Landeskog with the puck. Landeskog takes advantage of that and goes full Condor mode, skating it all the way around the offensive zone, and then just unloads a perfect shot from the top of the circle. Goals like that are fun. I love seeing Landeskog, the power forward, come out and skate it around the offensive zone like he can't be touched, and then just unleash a shot like that. Beautiful. No one in the Avalanche forward group plays more minutes than Landeskog on any given night, and while McKinnon may be the main force of the offense, Landeskog does more than just chip in, and his role is just as important. It's nice to see both of the core pieces of our offense getting it done on a consistent basis. After scoring a goal, the Avs would get to go on the power play once again, but it really was not a great one, and when we headed back to 5-on-5, both teams would tighten it up quite a bit. In fact, when you take away the special teams and look just at 5-on-5, the Avs gave up just 4 shots to the Kings in this period, even better than the first. The Avs haven't been known as a smothering defensive team in what feels like forever, and the Kings certainly do play that type of style. So the fact that the Avs can go toe-to-toe and in fact beat the Kings at their own game through 2 periods has to be a good sign, especially when you remember that Erik Johnson is out serving his suspension. They take the 1-0 lead into the second intermission, and you're starting to think that 1 goal might be enough to hold up the way this game is going. And that holds true through the first 10 minutes of the third anyway, as the Avs' smothering defense continues, allowing just 2 shots on goal to the Kings in that time. Unfortunately, there's a reason that 1-goal leads don't stand up very often in the NHL. Sometimes all it takes is 1 weird bounce or 1 strange play. This was one of the few shifts in the game where the Avs failed to clear the puck from their own zone effectively. They had multiple attempts to do so, and all of them were fairly weak. Because of that, the Kings have gotten the puck deep again, and the puck now behind the net is going to come up the far boards and eventually just get passed up to the point where Martinez is waiting. From there, Martinez really doesn't put much on a shot. He just floats it toward the net, but you can see multiple bodies are going to be in the lane here, so Varley's never going to see it. Particularly Tyson Barrie acts as a perfect screen on this one, perfectly blocking Varley's view of the point shot. The point eventually just floats in right over Varley's shoulder on the glove side. So that's a bit unfortunate, but you can't expect to win many games scoring just one goal. Given the way the Avs had been playing up to this point, if they continued to do that, you liked their chances. Sadly, they did not continue to play that way at all. They entirely went into their turtle shell and let the Kings take over the game. The Avs were clearly just trying to get this one to overtime. I'm curious what the thought process behind this was. Were the Avs just out of gas and they couldn't keep it up anymore? Was that the play they thought was best to get it to overtime, or what? Because if they could have kept playing like they played the first 50 minutes of this game, I think that would have done them a lot better down the stretch of the third. The Avs also do kill off a penalty during that time, and they do somehow manage to get it to overtime despite going into their turtle shell. And then we come to overtime. And overtime was just a complete disaster. This is a pretty short video to this point, so I'm going to go ahead and break down the full 45 seconds of overtime. Right off the bat, the Avs are going to lose a face-off, so not a good start to possession, and that would continue. Luckily, early, the Avs are given a total gift as a pass goes right to Tyson Barrie's stick here. Now here, Barrie has full sole control of the puck. Kopitar is closing on him, but he's not on top of him yet. So from right here, he should be able to settle the puck, either get it across to Landeskog, or even potentially send it back to Varley in net, as that's not uncommon for teams to do on 3-on-3. Basically, all he has to do is not turn this puck over. What he does is immediately turn the puck over. It's a breakaway for Kopitar, but Varley does a great job to bail him out this time, and it's right back the other way for the Avs. McKinnon's going to hit Landeskog in the neutral zone, who carries it all the way up through the blue line, and then passes off to Barrie. Then something weird happens. Barrie just sits at the blue line. I'm not sure if this was a designed play where Barrie is supposed to wait at the blue line, or if there was just miscommunication from the players, or what. Barrie easily could have won the race to this puck compared to the Kings players, as you'll see when it slides across, but he just opts not to. Not sure what happened. Landeskog then, recognizing what Barrie is doing, skates over and collects his own pass. Unfortunately, as he does that, he immediately turns the puck over, back the other way for the Kings. Luckily, this 3-on-2 doesn't work out for the Kings, and it gets broken up defensively nicely by McKinnon here, so it's back once again, as 3-on-3 overtime often goes up and down the ice. Here, it should be at least a 2-on-1 for the Avalanche, clearly. You have Barrie coming in as the third man. Maybe if he can beat the second man for the Kings, it could even be a 3-on-1. But unfortunately, it looks like the Avs are completely gassed, as Landeskog is going to slow up here and let the Kings players start to get back. As McKinnon heads up the ice, Landeskog tries to throw a pass or a dump in or something. I'm not sure what it was. It wasn't a good play. He puts it right on the Kings player's stick, and it's another turnover. So from there, as the puck gets bobbled around a little bit, Landeskog is going to go for a change as McKinnon gets back into position defensively. And you'll see as Landeskog goes for that change, Rantanen is going to step out onto the ice, and neither of them have quite figured out where the other is at this point. They're going to directly collide with each other. At the same time, McKinnon is not going to realize that he's down a winger on that side, so Dustin Brown has a free way to just skate right through, uncontested, into the Avs' zone. It's quickly recognized by Doughty that Brown has all the room in the world. By the time McKinnon recognizes what's happened, it's already too late and he's beat. Barrie does try and come over from the far side to play some defense, but it's just too late, and this time Varley can't bail him out. So the Landeskog and Rantanen thing running into each other is just kind of a comedic thing that you can laugh off, but the rest of that OT was real bad. Possession was terrible. The Avs were clearly out of gas compared to a Kings team that was not, and Tyson Barrie in particular just looked completely lost. Barrie logged over 26 minutes of ice time in this one, and you have to wonder if the Avs thought maybe Barrie could fill in for Johnson playing that big minute role a bit. It does not look like that worked. But that was just a fun little extended analysis of an Avalanche play that I wanted to try out, so feel free to let me know if you liked it or not. Ultimately, the Avs lost 2-1 in overtime to one of the best teams in the West. Not just that, but the best defensive team in the league. No one has given up fewer goals per game than the Kings. I can forgive the lack of scoring in this one, especially because in the first 50 minutes, the Avs played extremely good defense, going toe-to-toe with the best defensive team in the league. Clearly, compared to last year, this is a game the Avs would never even get a point out of. But it still did feel like they let a point get away. So a bit of mixed emotions, but ultimately, you throw out the last 10 minutes of the third and whatever that overtime was, and you're really happy with this Avs performance. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I'm Rudo3, and stay tuned to burgundyrainbow.com for a special announcement that we have coming tomorrow, Saturday, the 23rd.